Welcome back, everyone. Well, as you know, we are in the midst of a look at seniors. Fourth year in a row, right, Lois?
It is.
And the overriding theme this year is caregiving, caregivers. A phrase you hear frequently when it comes to senior care is the continuum of care. And what that really means, and we're going to talk a lot about this, is you go from independent living to assisted living to skilled nursing. And in that path, there can be gaps and there can be confusion about what services are available and what is best for my loved one or my parent or for yourself. And joining me today, we went right to the top. This is Brian Nealon, who is the CEO of the Wesley community. Welcome back.
Thank you. Good to be back,
Tie
Jesse.
of the day again, Brian.
I try.
I just got to tell you.
So,
And our co-host, Lois Celeste, who is the Executive Director of the Saratoga Senior Center. Hello, Lois.
Hi, Jesse.
Nice to have
Hi,
you back.
Brian.
hey, Lois.
You two know each other.
We do.
You work a lot together. I would like to start by just cycling back on that concept of continuum of care. We're so used to getting up when we're younger, going to work, coming home, taking care of the kids, driving them to soccer and whatever. All of a sudden, we're moving on in age.
Yes.
And we realize that the path that we're on is going to go from one where we are completely independent to one where we are going to need resources for support. And in working together, Lois, you see this every single day, right?
Sure. I mean, I've been there for 8 years now, and from the start, when I took over the senior center, I started working closely with Wesley because they do have a community here, a full community of services. But we're always having conversations about where are the gaps. So the people at the senior center that come into the senior center are fairly independent functioning, but when we started to see those gaps, we added support services. Some of it is referrals and just referral. And again, the Wesley community is a huge resource in Saratoga County for everyone and beyond. But we have conversations all the time about where the gaps are, and then how are we going to fill them? How do we work together to do that? And for us, we added our support services and some transportation and things like that for Wesley.
I think for us, what we saw most recently was a gap in home care services. And we're able to provide a lot of bricks and mortars on our campus, but home care is important. And so 2 years ago, we acquired an existing home care practice, and now Wesley Senior Solutions is growing and caring for those people that are trying to live independently at home, which is what every senior wants to do.
Well, Brian, I was just thinking about that. When you think about our generation, you think that we were let's face it, it was the 60s, right?
Yes.
So we're very independent.
Yes, we are.
And we like the idea of driving our cars on back roads, something that Brian and I relate to. But we also love the idea that we might want to stay in our home longer. Right?
And just even the aging in place concept is huge, and it's out there, and everybody wants to age in place. Aging in place means different things. So even if you've decided to downsize and sell the house and move into a senior community, you still want to stay there. You want to downsize once. And that's the dream for everybody. It may not happen, it may happen, but again, those gaps of services, adding the Wesley Senior Solutions is one piece that helps people continue to age in place, whatever that means.
Yeah, gotcha. I want to talk about home care for a second. We had the privilege of coming over here and interviewing some of the people that work at the Wesley community. And I'm thinking of one of the aides, a home care aide that I interviewed, Lindsay. And to this day, we talk about it. It takes a certain kind of person to want to dedicate their lives to helping others. And we're not getting too heady here and whatever. It's not in this sort of overt way. It's in the subtleties of how they touch someone, how they talk to someone, how they care for someone. And the home care aspect that you were talking about, Wesley Senior Solutions, correct?
Yes.
Now, what kind of services does that provide for somebody?
We provide companion services. We provide personal care aid services as well as home health aid services. So it's a fairly broad spectrum of supportive services that allows someone to do exactly what they want, which is age in place. You know, as boomers, we're all convinced that we're going to change whatever situation we face.
Don't you love it? That's so true.
And age is never going to impact us.
That's
well,
right.
here we are. And so I think that, you know, home care is speaking to the boomer generation.
Yes.
And because we all want to stay in our houses. And it's been, we've been able to help people do that longer.
I want to make certain that I understand, and I want our viewers to understand. You mentioned the different kind of services, companion care. Pretty much what it sounds like?
Yes.
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 Okay.
Yes.
And then what about the other two?
The other two are more involved with personal care to the resident. So a companion is as it sounds. The personal care aide and the home health aide are doing more involved work with the resident. They may need assistance with activities of daily living,
Right.
you know, going to the bathroom, taking a shower, getting dressed in the morning. So those services would be incorporated within what a personal care aide or a home health aide would do. Companion is going to do exactly as it sounds and going to spend time with you, fix a meal, take you shopping, things of that
it's funny
nature.
because I see it over the senior. It's emotional support too.
Well, it-
Absolutely.
Friendship, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And you know, we started this series talking about caregiver support, and what you find with caregivers oftentimes is it takes a toll on them, medically, physically,
Yes.
all of that.
Yes.
So it's really important, if you want to age in place, wherever that may be, that you take care of each other and families, and the toll that it takes on the community as a whole, trying to take care of all of these boomers coming up. I think you have to find solutions, and it
Yeah.
looks like you've added some of that here.
And so many times the aid that we are sending into someone's home is providing that relief for the caregiver. The primary caregiver is typically a spouse. And that spouse needs a little bit of me time, whether it's going to their own doctor's appointment, doing the grocery shopping, or just going to their bridge club or their book club. And it makes a huge difference in making sure that caregiver is healthy themselves.
And Jess, we launched a program a few years back, a volunteer match program, to try
That's
to
right.
help some on the kind of skimming the surface a little bit with this, with some friendly visiting. But there's a shortage out there of these aides, and I know you guys are involved in, you will train.
We will absolutely train. So if anyone wants to become a companion, a home health aide, a personal care aide, we are happy to train people so that they can become part of the team that cares for these folks. But it is difficult to find staff in this environment, but that's true of all healthcare providers at any level.
Yeah, we see that across the community,
Yeah,
by the way,
yes.
in a lot of different categories, Brian. But you're right, because it does take a certain kind of person, and you know who you
Yes.
are. You know?
Yeah.
And the thought that you could be trained, I think that's such a valuable piece of this puzzle.
And we're happy to do it.
Yeah, no, I've got you. I hear you. Well, one last thing I just wanted to cycle back on. This whole sense of independent living, it's what you interpret it to be.
Yeah.
But you can be living independently here in the Wesley community.
Sure.
You remember you were saying that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I think this boomer generation is going to be very interesting. I'm all about a no maintenance lifestyle. So downsizing into some senior housing, that kind of thing, and people are there to support you, it's a good thing.
I totally
But
agree.
yeah, I think we've worked really closely together to try to make sure we don't duplicate, but we really support each other and the seniors in the community.
Yeah.
Well, you know what it really points to is just how evolved healthcare has become when it's dealing with the senior population. Here you have something as spectacular as the Wesley community, which goes from independent living to assisted living to skilled care, recognizing that there's more support needed in the community and supplying those resources together with the senior center to make certain that someone out in the community would be able to have that kind of support and have that kind of care. In the course of the conversation, you've seen some phone numbers there for the senior center and for Wesley community. Please call. You know, you
Yes.
could be thinking about what you're going to do with your own future. You could be the child of someone who's moving into this population, and We need information. I can't tell you how impressive it is to sit and talk to Brian, and I know you feel the same way. They just know so much about this topic, so take advantage of it. It's right here in our community. Well, Brian, it's great to see you again.
Jesse, it's always great.
Yes.
Thank you for
And it's
coming
springtime,
over.
so you have to, get
Yeah,
the
I
car
will.
out. Okay,
I will.
all right.
I will.
Private
I will.
joke.
So-
Lois, great to see you
Thank
again.
you.
Lois,
See you
thanks so
next
much.
As always.
Good. And to see this interview again, you can head to our website, looktvonline.com.